In this session, we're going to learn about daffodils. Daffodils are nice spring flowers. They're usually coming in yellow, but sometimes they're on the orange side, and sometimes they have a little white in them as well. And they're kind of like the daisy in the way that they've got the central piece, and then they have petals coming out from that center. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals, but we're going to draw ours from the side, kind of like this one, so you can see it's got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the other petal is kind of hidden behind this big tube-like shape that comes out for the center. And here's one for the bottom, or coming up from the bottom, so you can kind of see how it grows up. And you can see how the edge here is wiggly around the top of that cone piece that comes up. So here's an example of what our daffodil is going to look like. And you've got 4 flowers, 1, 2, 3, 4 from our previous sessions, and you're going to just flip your paper over and use one of the other sides. So here you go, you're going to write daffodil on the bottom, D-A-F-F-O-D-I-L, and then we're going to get started drawing. You're going to draw an oval first, okay, and you're going to draw 2 diagonal lines, one from the top and one from the bottom, until they get about there, and then you're going to put a nice little curved line for the back of that tube shape. And then you're going to draw 5 petals. I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to draw one up and down kind of ovally, and then we're going to draw the petals. We're going to draw 4 more now, kind of up here and back down, and then one more up, pointy, and back down, coming out to a point like that, and then the bottom one kind of coming off the bottom and pointy like that. So that's kind of our daffodil with the 5 petals coming out there. Now the stem is going to come from the center, and like you saw it, it's going to come down here off the edge of the paper, and the leaves that come off are usually straight like this, and they kind of come up from the bottom of the plant, just kind of like the tulip, but they're thin and tall, kind of like that, rather than the big leafy ones that we had on the tulip. Then from there you're going to take this oval, and you're just going to kind of make the edge wiggly like this, because daffodils, like we saw, were wiggly. And then this cone shape usually has some texture in it because it's like ribbed, so I would take a couple lines and just do the texture like that. And then the daffodil petals have a seam or a vein right down the center, kind of like that. So at the end, that's pretty much what your daffodil should look like. And if you want to go a little farther, you can shade the inside of it, because the inside is usually darker if you're seeing it from the side like this. And sometimes the top is going to be a little darker, and maybe the bottom just a little bit darker too, so it looks a little rounded. Okay, and that's what your daffodil should look like.